Hey, welcome back to the Six Figure Mastermind. Super glad you're here. Maybe you're in business for yourself, you're trying to build that six-figure business, and you find that you keep having to look for new customers, and you're trying to do more marketing, and you're trying to do all that. Well, there's 5 specific tips I have for you today that's going to ease a lot of that for you because we're going to retain the customers we already have. Stay tuned. Okay, so I had a viewer of our channel come and ask me the question, when do we really need to start thinking or worrying about customer satisfaction, and how do we satisfy our customers? So, here's my perspective on that. As soon as you have a business, or as soon as you're thinking about having a business, you've got to start your customer relations. You got to start managing those customer expectations and developing a good relationship with your customers. Because most likely, even if you're just starting out, your first customers will have known you before you start your business, right? So your first customers could be friends, they could be family. Of course, you're going to get organic reach and strangers coming in, and that's essentially what you want. But when a customer comes to you, they're not really buying your product. Even if they're walking out the door with your product in their hand, they're not buying the product exclusively. They're buying the experience. They're buying a piece of you. They're buying who you are. So the time to start developing those relationships is now, if you haven't already started. So I'm going to talk to you about today 5 huge tips in really creating those customer relationships and satisfying those customers. Okay? Here's tip number 1. Answer emails, comments, tags, posts, whatever social media platform that you're using, whether you're using your email, whether you're using whatever. They can handwrite letters to you if they want to. Probably won't happen very often, but it could. Biggest thing is answer them, even if it's just like a thank you or a shout out, or maybe it's a negative comment or a piece of feedback that you got. You've got to respond to those, and especially if it's negative sometimes. You've got to be a person that communicates with your client, and that's just basic relationship building 101, right? Open communication. So when people reach out and talk about your business or are talking to you about your business, make sure you're responding to all of the emails in a timely manner. I mean, people don't like to sit on emails for very long, especially if they're antsy about something that's going on, with their product or service. So answer emails. My rule for emails is within 24 hours. I like to answer my emails with my clients within 24 hours. Okay, my texts, my answer for that is you got to respond to texts within 1 to 5 hours. Even if, let's say, you're really busy and you're doing a conference, you could just send a response back and say, hey, I got your text. I wanted you to know I can call you at such and such a time, or whenever you put it on your calendar. Then please put it on your calendar so you remember to call them, okay? And be prompt. Don't be late on the phone call. Don't be behind the phone call. Just be there, be on time, so your customer can expect that with you for the duration of your relationship together, okay? So that's tip number 1. Respond to all texts, all emails, all comments, everything on social media, everything in person. Give them a response as soon as you possibly can. Tip number 2. Be the first mover, especially when it comes to communication. When your company does something new or different, maybe there's been a change or an update, you've got to be the one to reach out and deliver that information so your customer's not finding it out later or secondhand. Be active in communicating with your customers. Send newsletters out, send emails out, heck, even send text messages out to your customers. Let them know that you are willing to be the one that goes first. Be the one that reaches out, delivering them any alerts, any changes, any announcements. You should be the one making those happen and initiating that conversation rather than having it be kind of this reactive thing. Customers don't like that. It's no bueno, okay? So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, be transparent. Be open. Disclose what you're doing, and this is going to cover your behind sometimes too when it comes down to, maybe there's someone that wants to a lawsuit. I mean, heaven forbid, but that could happen if you're running a business. If you're transparent and you document it in writing the whole way, the whole time, 1, you're going to avoid most of those really sticky situations in the first place. And 2, should those situations come up, you'll have backup. because you're the one. I said I documented everything. I sent out all the information. I was very transparent with the customer. The customer knew exactly what to expect on their end. We knew what to expect from the customer on our end. And when you're being transparent, it's not just with your client to professional relations. I'm talking about business practices too, okay? So if you say that your company, for example, maybe donating 10% of all proceeds to your favorite charity, maybe it'd be a good idea to disclose in some kind of a newsletter how that happened and if that got delivered and when that happened and all the good that you did from it. If you've got a customer that is getting emails from you and you are talking about a specific formula for something that they're purchasing from you, either a cosmetic or an edible, you've got to disclose the formula. You've got to disclose what the benefits are. You just be transparent. Let the customer know. Keep no secrets. Of course, there are things in the corporate world that you don't necessarily have to disclose, as far as, how much you pay your employees, for example. That's obviously not going to be public knowledge. Doesn't need to be. But as far as your business practices go, let everyone see what's behind the curtain. Number 4, man up. Take ownership. If something goes wrong, this is why people say the customer is always right, because guys, frankly, they are. And here's why. Because when the customer has some kind of experience with you, they're going to develop their opinion of you. And when someone's opinion is what they believe, then their opinion is right according to them. And when you're dealing with customers, that's really what matters. Even if they got the facts wrong, even if they had something that was totally off base from what you delivered in your newsletter, your job is to take accountability. Take accountability for what your part was. Again, this is why you're documenting everything, but you're also saying, okay, I see that this is if there's a problem that comes up, I acknowledge that. I see that this is a problem for you. What can we do to help? I see that in our history, that practice hasn't worked for you. Maybe you run a retail establishment, right? And you have a 90-day return policy, and someone came returning a brand new item that was unopened, unused on the 91st day, all right? Customer service says take care of the customer. The policy says 90 days. What am I going to do? If it's a return that I can process, that's inventory I can take back, it follows the overhead of your company, and you can do that responsibly, I'll take care of the customer, because the customer's experience is the most important thing. Absolutely. Tip number 5, gratitude. Go the extra mile. Tell your customers that. I'm not just saying thank you on the bottom of a receipt. Anyone can do that. Most of them get ignored. I'm talking about, guys, maybe it's time to make a handwritten letter. Maybe if you've got a really loyal customer who keeps coming back to you, you send them a little bit of extra in the mail. You send them an extra product or maybe an extra gift card or a bonus just as a thank you for being their loyal customer. Maybe you've seen, I really hope you've seen the Chewbacca lady on YouTube. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube, and you bet I'll watch it over and over again with my kids. But here's the thing, there's another video that goes hand in hand with that. This Chewbacca lady, she names Kohl's, right, the department store, in her video. She said, I just finished shopping at Kohl's. I'm here in my car. I've got this Chewbacca mask, having so much fun with this thing. You know what Kohl's did for her? She was a customer to them, and she just dropped their name in the video, didn't know it would go viral is my assumption. Kohl's sent her boxes upon boxes upon boxes of thank you gifts, of Star Wars toys and posters and apparel and all of these extra things, because Kohl's wanted to show her, hey, you know what? You probably didn't plan on that video going viral. It's cool that you shop with us, and we just want to say thank you for all of the good things that you've done for us and that video's done for us. We appreciate you. Go the extra mile. That's never wasted. Gratitude is never, ever wasted, especially when you have a customer that's got a beef with you. Express gratitude to them for them speaking up, because statistically, only 4% of people that have a problem with your company are willing to say something, and that feedback is super valuable to you. If you've got a large number of people that are dissatisfied with something and someone finally lets you know about it, it's like when you have spinach in your teeth and you thank the person that finally told you it was there, right? Be grateful for your customers, especially the ones that are helping you out with some feedback, and end your conversations with gratitude. And all your transactions with gratitude. So if you follow those 5 tips, get to a really cool one-on-one with your relationship with your customers where they're loyal to you and your brand. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know if you have any more questions about anything business related. I want to see it in the comments, and I want to make a video specifically for you and answer your questions. Remember to hit the subscribe button, give us a ring on the bell, get some notifications from us, and I'll see you tomorrow.